Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing.
Good morning, and welcome to Story Time. Oh my goodness, I am glad we're here together. Yes, for another exciting story. Good morning to you. How are you doing? Oh my goodness, first through the door. How are you doing today? Sarah and Nathan, and of course Amanda out in sunny Illinois. Well, I am happy the sun is back for you today. Thank you so much for joining in. You are definitely going through all sorts of weather out in Illinois. Thank you so much for sharing and for all those weather updates too. Highly appreciate them. I hope you're well. I hope that you are feeling well after your COVID shots as well. Thank you so much for joining in. I am glad you are here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Thursday. Good morning to you. And yes, it is not the shortest day today, but we are reading this one indeed to celebrate the Yule. Thank you so much for joining in. The shortest day, and this one from award-winning author Susan Cooper, and of course illustrations by award-winning CARSON ELLIS. A powerful book, a wonderful book indeed, one that has become a legend over the years. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Absolutely appreciate each and every one of you joining us today. Yes, special good morning to you, Sarah and Nathan, today. Absolutely love it that you're here with us on Storytime. Good morning to you and welcome. Please, if you're joining us, let us know where you're joining in from and who is joining in with you, ready to enjoy a wonderful story together. And yes, a beautiful poem that has been turned into this wonderful, wonderful book indeed. A big thank you to Candlewick Press for allowing us to share this lovely book right here on Storytime. And there are a few more that will be coming from Candlewick from their 4 releases. Absolutely looking forward to them, and I'm sure you will be excited about them as well. Thank you for being here. Good morning to you. And remember, every little thing that you do counts. Every little thing that you do matters. You are important, and we're honored to have you here on Storytime. I hope that your day goes brilliantly well, and I hope that you have everything that your heart desires. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime, and welcome. Yes, the shortest day coming to you from Susan Cooper and CARSON ELLIS, and of course read with permission of Candlewick Press. Good morning to you. Get settled, get comfortable, and get ready to enjoy a wonderful story indeed that Candlewick have prepared for us. If you're joining us, please remember to let us know where you're joining in from and who is joining in with you. And if you're joining in for the recordings, if you've missed the live, please still leave a message below. I will be looking at them and will definitely be sure to give you a shout out to say hello to you on the next reading. But for today, we have a beautiful book to get ready for. Good morning to you. How are you doing out in Lusaka, Zambia? Thank you for joining us. Alice, how are you today? And of course, Chiti Chengelo, how are you today? Thank you for joining in. I hope that you are having a lovely late afternoon out there in Lusaka. Thank you so much for joining in. Yes, indeed. And I hope you're having a beautiful snack to go with it too. Good evening to you. How are you doing? Chiti and Chengelo, thank you for joining in. Alice, thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Good to see you. Good morning to you, Amanda. How are you doing today? Amanda, Teresa, thank you so much. Therese, thank you so much for joining us. Amanda, let us know who is joining in with you and, of course, where you are joining us from. And if this is your first time on Story Time, welcome, welcome. And if I've forgotten you've been here before, well, welcome back to Story Time. Thank you so much for joining in. And as always, please remember to, if you have favorite stories or stories that you would want read here on Storytime, please send them my way. Let me know what they are, and I will do my very, very best to bring them here to Storytime so we can enjoy your favorites as well. Thank you so much for joining in. Good morning to you, Amanda, Therese. Welcome to Storytime. Thank you, thank you. Oh, I love it. Yes, like we say, Storytime is for the young and the young at heart indeed. Everybody that loves a good story, welcome to Storytime. Thank you so much for joining us from Arizona. Thank you, thank you. Welcome to the Storytime family. And I hope that this is not the last time that we see you here on Storytime. Thank you for being here. Good morning to you, Betty Deshay, and of course, Rikia. How are you doing? And you say you're feeling better. Well, Rikia, keep recovering, keep going, sweetheart. And we will definitely see you when you're feeling a whole lot better at school. Thank you so much for joining in. And I'm glad that we're still able to spend some time together through Storytime. Thank you so much for being here, Rikia. Good morning to you, Betty, as well. Thank you for being here. Yes, indeed. Please remember to let us know wherever you're joining us from. Absolutely love it. Whether you're in Zambia, whether you're somewhere in Europe, whether you're here in the US, we appreciate you. And yes, Storytime is here for you. All right, so we're going to get started with our story, but please do join me on the other side of this message.
Hi, everyone. I'm Amanda with Amanda Weltman Photography. I'm a photographer and printmaker based in the Pacific Northwest, and I believe that your face deserves wall space. Enjoy today's story time with my favorite storyteller, Mr. LaMotta.
Thank you, Amanda. And yes, I believe to your faces deserve war space. Thank you so much for sharing. Good morning one more time. We have the shortest day, and this will be coming up. Find out when it's coming up. But before I read this story, I just wanted to also read the background a little bit so we can have an idea of where this poem is coming from and what inspired it. So let's go to the back first of all. And this one is written by Susan Cooper and illustrations by CARSON, ELLIS. So let's go to the back first, and then we'll come back and read the story, the poem for today. All right, here we go. And on the back here, it says, this is a special story indeed. And I don't know if you've been able to see it out there, but on the back here, it says, from the very beginning, our lives have been cyclical. Yes, we go around in circles. At the solstices, the sun reaches its highest or lowest point in our sky, giving us the longest or the shortest day of the year. At the equinoxes, day and night are almost equal. Spring equinox, summer solstice, autumn equinox, and then winter solstice. Round and round they go. If you live on a planet that circles the sun, your time is governed by the patterns of light and darkness, summer and winter, warmth and cold, and of course, life and death. Once our forefathers learned to farm, they planted and harvested at the equinoxes. But it was the solstices that caught their attention, the extremes. They watched their days shrink from the bright abundance of high summer to the bleak, dark cold of winter, and they invented rituals to make sure the light would come back again, to bring the new day, the new year, the rebirth of life. The rebirth rituals have become traditions that we still celebrate today, whether or not we remember where they came from. Some of them are so old that only their monuments remain. On the morning of the winter solstice, at the great earthwork New Range in County Meath, Ireland, the day's first beam of sunlight shines in through a passage that Neolithic people built there 5,000 years ago to catch it. And for 17 minutes, a dark room deep within is filled with the sunshine of the shortest day. It's a universal impulse, the celebration of light as a symbol of continuing life. The Yule, the evergreens of my poem, come from Northern Europe, but the candles in those Christmas trees belong to the same family as the menorah candles of Chanukah or the oil lamps of Diwali. Christianity and many other faiths share their intention. They are the lights of hope, reaching for the triumph of good over evil. And it goes on to talk about where the Shortest Day poem comes from and what the inspiration was and how it's been shared in many, many theaters throughout the world. So just wanted to share that before we go into our reading. And now we can go ahead and get started. Yes, the Shortest Day. The Shortest Day. And this one is by Susan Cooper and CARSON ELLIS. And we're bringing it to you, of course, with permission of Candlewick Press. A big, big thank you to them. All right, here we go. I love these images. Yeah, the dawn of a new light. Look at that. How is it where you are? Is it snowy? Oh. So the shortest day came. When is it coming? So the shortest day came. And the year died. Yes, that shortest day comes right to the end of the year. And everywhere down the centuries of the snow-white world came people singing, dancing to drive the dark away. Yes. I love the singing over there. Yes. And everywhere down the centuries of the snow-white world came people singing, dancing to drive the dark away. Yes. We want to drive the dark away. They lighted candles in the winter trees. They hung their homes with evergreen. Oh. Have you hung your home with evergreen? They burned beseeching fires all night long to keep the year alive. What traditions are in your family? How do you celebrate the Yule? And when the New Year's sunshine blazed awake, they shouted, reveling. Oh, nothing quite brings happiness like the new day, doesn't it? Through all the frosty ages, you can hear them echoing behind us. Listen, listen to the voices of our ancestors. Listen to the joyful cries. All the long echoes sing the same delight, this shortest day, as promise wakens in the sleeping land. Oh, yes, yes, yes. They carol, feast, give thanks, and dearly love their friends and hope for peace. Oh, absolutely. They carol, feast, give thanks, and dearly love their friends and hope for peace. Ah, oh, don't we all wish for that? And so do we here, now, this year, and every year. Welcome, Yule. Yes, indeed. As our ancestors wished for peace and enjoyed love, so do we, here, now, this year, and every year to come. Welcome, yo. Oh, the end. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for joining me on Storytime today. I hope that you enjoyed this lovely, lovely, lovely poem indeed. This one by Susan Cooper. And of course, bringing it to life with the images, Carson Ellis. Thank you so much for joining me on Storytime today. I hope that you enjoyed this wonderful, wonderful book indeed that we had. And if you want the full poem, you can either look it up online, or indeed, if you get yourself a copy of the book, you will find it right on the back. Let me just see if I can go to that and show it to you right there. So you have the full poem right there on the back, and you can get to enjoy it and read it in full. Yes, indeed, I love poetry, and this one definitely I love. Thank you so much for joining me, and I am glad you are here. If it is your first time on Storytime, please welcome, welcome. Spread the word, share it with friends, let them know we're here to read stories together, and send your recommendations so we can bring them here to Storytime. And of course, if you're coming back, as always, we love you, and thank you so much for joining in Storytime. This has been Storytime for today, the shortest day. Yes, indeed. Susan Cooper, Carson Ellis, and of course, read with permission of Candlewick Press. A big, big thank you to them for allowing us to share this wonderful book here on Storytime. But you know what? Candlewick have given us other stories, and tomorrow we bring this exciting one. It's called Zion Unmatched. Yes, this one is by Zion Clark and James S. Hirsch. Do join me for this one. Inspiring story, powerfully inspiring. I hope that you can join me for this one and get to enjoy it. Thank you for being here on Storytime today. Please remember to join me again tomorrow for Zion Unmatched. And I am excited to share this one with you. And also, if you know Zion, I will be sharing the link. You can find out a little bit more about him. There's also a short documentary on Netflix that you can watch ahead of this, and then when we come to read tomorrow, you would have had a lot more background on Zion if you don't know him already. Thank you so much for being here today, for joining me for the reading of The Shortest Day. Absolutely appreciate you wherever you're joining us from. Thank you for being here on Storytime. Yes, indeed. Amanda Therese, thank you so much for being here, and I hope I'm getting your name correctly as well. Thank you for being here. Absolutely appreciate you. Welcome to Storytime. Thank you for joining in. Have a lovely day out in Arizona. Yes, Rikia, missing you at school, but loving it that you're here for Storytime, and definitely hope to see you soon when you are feeling better. Thank you so much for joining in. Feel better, sweetheart. See you very, very soon. Thank you for joining in Storytime. Yes, Chengelo and Chiti, thank you so much for joining us all the way out in Lusaka, Zambia. I hope that you are well. Yes, indeed. Thank you for joining in, and I hope that you enjoy your dinner coming up very, very soon. I hope that you enjoy it. Yes, in Shima. Oh, how I would give for some Shima right now. Thank you for joining in. Sarah and Nathan, and of course, Amanda West out in Illinois. Thank you for joining us, and enjoy the sunshine out there. Hopefully not too cold. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you get some outside time as well. Thank you for being here on Storytime. This always uplifts my day, and I hope that together we can go into this day with smiles, with hearts full of joy and gratitude. Thank you for being here. Yes, indeed, thankful for another day. And however you celebrate this time of the year, whether you are doing Diwali, whether you're doing Christmas, whether you're doing another ceremony that I don't know about or that I forget to mention right now, please enjoy it. And yes, I wish you peace, love for your family and friends, and everything that you touch, may it turn to gold. Thank you so much for joining me on Storytime. Have a wonderful, wonderful day today. Go into this day with your head held high, because you are special, you are wonderful, you deserve to be here, you belong here, and we love you. Every little thing that you do matters. You are important. Remember that every single day. Much love from me today. Hugs as always. I will see you again tomorrow for another exciting story, an inspiring story. If you are to see a story this week, please read this one with me. Zion and Mashed. Join me for this one and let's enjoy it together. Have a lovely, lovely day. Much love from me. I will see you again tomorrow for another exciting story. Remember, you can find Story Time 7 a.m. Pacific Time live every weekday. And of course, you can find Story Time at 11 a.m. for the recording of this session. And of course, you can always find Story Time in our archives. And remember to use your libraries. If you have access to them, please use your libraries. They're there for you. Use them, get books, get to share them and enjoy them some more. Thank you for being here. Much love from me. Please go into this day and have a wonderful, wonderful time. Thank you for being here. Much love. Bye-bye.
We just can't wait to, he will be starting soon. Story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be hearing. Brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be hearing.